Good evening. Okay, yes. Alright. Okay, teka lang guys. Mag-share ako ng screen ko. Tama, no? Hindi natin tapos si part 1 last week. Yan. Sana tayo, guys. Can anyone give me a summary of what we have discussed last week? Anybody? Ay, may nakakarinig ba sa akin? Ayan, thank you, Lerwin. Go ahead, Lerwin. What were the highlights of the discussion last meeting?
Um, Sir, should I focus more on the instructional materials or the PowerPoint presentation that you present last time?
It's up to you.
Okay.
Uh, as I
All
said,
right.
I am just asking kung ano yung naging highlights natin. Okay?
Okay. For last week's highlight lesson will be more on fundamentals of how quantitative and qualitative methods works, and more on basic mathematics.
Okay. And what are those concepts in math that we discuss?
More likely arithmetic, sir.
Okay. Highlights talaga natin yung arithmetic. Okay, sige, thank you. How about the others? What were the ano? I want to know the what do you call this, yung pinaka takeaways natin. Sige, I'll ask two people na, Ian and Julia, but go ahead, Ian.
Hello, sir. Narinig
Yes,
po ba ako?
yes.
So, from the last week's lessons, I learned about different types of model and how it could help us in solving problems,
All right, good.
especially in the business side.
Mm-hmm.
Then, so there were five, oh, four types of
Four.
models that
Correct.
were discussed. The physical, which is like a miniature of uh, something big. Then, mathematical models or abstract that are formulas, basically formulas. Then simulation models, these are combination of physical and abstract that uh, it can simulate or copy a working system. Then heterogeneous is the combination of the three.
Okay. By the way, abstract, Ian, and mathematical are actually the same. And normally, physical model are replica models, no?
Yes.
So not necessarily anything miniatured, no?
Oh,
But
okay.
basically, if it can show physical characteristics of a certain physical system, that is what we call the physical model. Go ahead, Julia.
Ayun din, sir. Aside from what Ian mentioned, we also discussed quantitative tools like
Yes.
arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division.
Mm-hmm.
Pati na rin po percentage, pati na
Mm-hmm.
fractions and decimals. And then yung application ng operations on those fractions, decimals, and the like. Yung
All
first
right.
part pa lang ang na-discuss natin.
All right. Okay, thank you, Julia. We were able to discuss significant figures and rounding guidelines. Or no, guys?
Hindi pa po, sir.
Hindi pa po.
So we ended there. Tama ba ako? So I think we ended on na-mention ni Julia about fractions, right? Um I'll show you the the PowerPoint again. Can you see the slide, guys? We were, did we solve this problem? This one?
Opo, sir.
Yes,
Waiting
sir.
po.
So ibig sabihin na dito na talaga tayo. Na, tama? Alright. Okay, so sige, that's good. Thank you very much for participating. Now, I'd like to emphasize, no, number one, I encourage everyone to log into your respective MS Teams so that you would know if we cancel the class or we have a class. Basically, in the calendar, you can see that there are already series, tama ba? Nakikita niyo 'yon? Series of meetings, tama ba ako? Nakikita niyo ba 'yon? Are you aware of that? Guys, do I have students right now? I can only hear few people. So I can only see few people doing reactions, making a chat, no? There are 36 no. There are 36 students in my class right now. So again, we have set up the expectations, right? So please respond everyone. I don't want more than 3 seconds of pregnant pause. You get that point? You get that, guys? Pwede bang
Yes.
gano'n? Pwede ba yung maging alert tayo and abrupt? And I can napaka-consistent ng mga sumasagot lang, guys. And take note, these people are not only my 2-1N. You're supposed to be 40 plus. And you're 37 right now. So I am not asking a very, very difficult question. No? So kindly please participate. You get the point, class, to an end?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
yeah, okay.
teacher.
Then again, we already have a series of ano. So basically, wala naman ako pag sinabi ko pagka kinancel ko, inform ko definitely si president. And then at the same time, the time we're going to set na siguro 6:30 tayo mag-start. Okay? Yun yung normal natin unless otherwise super traffic pa uwi. So, yun lang yung challenge ko guys because I normally go out my workplace is in Eastwood and definitely the traffic there is kakaiba. Alam mo yun? And actually hindi yung traffic yung issue ko doon eh. Yung issue ko doon kung ano yung pwede kong maging transportation pa uwi. And I normally nag-grab ako or nagta-taxi ako pa uwi. I don't go to jeepneys kasi praning pa ako sa sa public utility. So medyo ganun. So mahirap talagang uwi. Alam mo 'yun? So those are the struggles. So minsan kaya last week 'di ba? Medyo late ako 7 o'clock ganyan. 'Yun. So minsan magsa-start tayo ng 6:30 to 7. So again, I'd like to remind everyone na I think magkaroon tayo na ano lang, okay na yun siguro yung gano'ng katagal na grace period, tama ba? But on 6:30, guys, 6:30 to 7 o'clock, should I expect that everybody is already in the lobby? 'Di ba? Hindi dapat kayo naghihintay na nag-check-in ako or may nag-start na. You should be proactively and definitely transparently sinasabi ko kay Julia, Julia malilate ako. Sinasabi ko 'yan. Hindi ako yung nangiiwan lang sa ere na something. Okay? To an end. So, be aware, sasabihin ko rin kapag wala tayong klase. So, bear in your mind that we always have a class. Kasi kailangan nating maghabol. Kailangan natin, marami tayo. Unless otherwise, willing kayong i-absorb yung self-learning. Nakuha niyo or yung asynchronous talaga. Kung gusto niyo talaga yon na mag-asynchronous tayo. Pag ganun kasi, definitely, walang supervision ng professor, di ba? But definitely, itong mga ganitong questions are tests sa class. If are you really reading my so ngayon guys madali kong maalala yung mga taong nagsasalita and consistently sila lang yung nagsasalita. So definitely pagka sinabi ko IT21N, itong mga tao lang 'to maalala ko. Hindi ko kayo maaalala kapag hindi kayo nagsalita. I, I, I'm very honest because hindi ko kayo nakikita eh, 'di ba? So ngayon, kung ganyan na hindi kayo lagi magpa-participate, hindi kayo mag-chat, hindi mare-register sa akin kung nagpa-participate kayo. May ano tayo, no? May evidence, 'di ba? Yung chat na yan hanggang July, makikita ko 'yan. So anybody na hindi ko nakikita diyan at hindi nag-participate, although we will have some activities in the future, but I hope that let's try to participate. Let's give, sabi ko nga po, hindi pa naman ako nagtatanong ng sobrang hirap, 'di ba? So, pwede ba 'yon, guys? Can we do that? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Yes, sir.
Po.
Oh, yun. Si Lerwin, alam na natin nagpa-participate yan, no, di ba? I want to hear also from others, okay? So, yun guys. Secondly, may announcement ako. One of these days, until July 30 daw, June 30 daw, may mga visitors, may visitor daw tayo. Meron daw mag-o-observe. I don't know kung ginawa na yan sa inyo, sa ibang klase nyo. Pero yung faculties daw, I'm not sure kung yung dean, yung chairperson, they're going to observe the class. So, ibig sabihin, papasok sila dito sa meeting na to, sa channel natin. So, guys, in that event na, of course, malalaman ko naman yon kapag pumasok sila kasi nanonotify ako kung sino yung mga pumapasok. Pero pag ganun guys, I hope that ipakita natin, hindi ko kasi alam kung anong objective nun kung bakit tayo i-observe. Or lahat, actually hindi lang ako, lahat yon, lahat ng faculty i-observe. So hindi ko alam kung anong objective dyan. No? Para tayong high school na pupunta na superintendent. No? But definitely guys, ako naman, I don't have any fear on that. But I hope, sana, pag dumating yung time na yan, that we are going to be observed, pwede bang medyo saksakan nyo ng, ala, uminom kayo ng maraming juice para maging super active kayo on that day? Can you do that, guys?
Apo, sir.
Yes,
Alright.
sir.
How about the others? No one is
sir.
chatting that they're going to
Yes
commit
po,
or what?
sir.
Yes po, sir.
Di
Yes
ba
po,
sabi ko
sir.
pwede kayo magsulat ng bomb, pwede kayo magsulat ng ano, di ba? Do that, no? And by the way, may essay kayong isusulat sa akin, tama? Have you seen that classwork?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yun, ha? Though next week ko pa naman siya, next week ko yata siya dinedline. No? So, after this, asahan nyo na may mga classwork na tayo. Okay? Ayan. Mag-react kayo. Okay? So, I hope that everybody would, siguro, na lang, bibigyan ko na lang, mag-ano lang tayo dito. Pagka may dumating na gano'n na observant, definitely, we will try to, I'll try to give you na lang, siguro magagawa na lang tayo ng ano ba, ano ba maganda, may ano tayo, ano bang keyword, ano yan? Or parang word,
Icebreaker.
hindi, icebreaker, I mean, just to inform you, hindi ko naman pwede sabihin, okay class, um, Doctor ganyan-ganyan has entered the class. So lahat kayo magsasabi, good evenings. I mean, maybe I'll just give a word that would remind you na nasa under observation pala tayo right now. Parang, ano ba tawag doon?
Safe word,
Ayun.
sir.
Safe word, tama.
Ay,
Oo. Try na lang natin para din alam nyo kasi hindi ko alam kung kailan sila papasok or what, no? Pero yon. So I hope that everybody mag-ano tayo doon, maging aware tayo doon kasi that would reflect the class, 'di ba? Yan. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, can you see my my slide naman guys? Kaya
Yes
lang
po, sir.
Yes po.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And
Kita na po, sir.
thank you. And I'm recording this discussion also. Wait lang. Stop ko lang yung transcription. I don't like na nako-cornyan ako doon sa transcription Okay, yeah. So, okay. Dito tayo naiwan. So, it's also a part of Teka lang. Yes, Tony, mag-mute ka naman. Okay. All right. Etiquettes guys, etiquettes, okay? So dito tayo rounding of numbers. So basically, very common to. Gamit na gamit ito in our daily lives now when we do rounding off. And normally, when we do rounding off, the reason why we do rounding off kasi there are times na it depends on how much value a number we want to quantify. Ganon. So sometimes that is in terms of decimal places, right? Or sometimes it is based on significant figures. Where we're going to differentiate that. Okay. So I'll just use the pointer muna. Ayan. Pen na. Okay. So for example, we have this 4 over 3. Now this is a fractional value, common fraction siya. So if we're going to get the decimal fraction of this, we know that this is non-terminating, right? Infinite yan na puro 3 3 3 3 3, right? So normally you show three dots to represent the never ending value of threes. So for convenience, we do rounding, right guys? Um Sabi ko nga, sometimes we do rounding by a specified decimal places. For example, two decimal places because as we know, for centavos, diba, for money, we always represent it for with centavos. And definitely nag-round tayo, no? And a certain number of significant figures also. So ano pagkakaiba ng dalawa? So, decimal places are more general, no? Compared to significant figures. Normally, pag significant figures kasi, kaya siya tinawag na significant figures, ibig sabihin ay yung mga importanteng um, field nung number lang kasi maaaring part siya ng measurement or for example, meron kang mga laboratory instrument na ito lang yung effective na kaya niyang i-measure, no? Mayroon siya certain number, may errors allowance siya na hanggang doon lang po yung significant sa kanya. So, kaya kung manonotice nyo, ang significant figure, majority nito, dinidiscuss sa mga chemistry, physics, tama, di ba? Mga ganong subject because more of measurement, ano kasi siya, measurement parameter na kailangan alam natin yung mga ganong rules, no? Ayun, whenever we use equipment or instrument, no? And decimal places are just depende. It's a general. It could be two decimal places because pwedeng significant figure din yung kanyang pero it is not bounded on significant figure alone. Okay? So here we're going to review that, no. So as we know by convention, any number, 'di ba, next to that number na sorry, na kapag 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, what do we do? We round down. When we say round down, we just maintain the number, no? The integral or kung ano yung specific number na we want to round. And if it is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that would be round up. So that just like here, as an example, we have here, sorry. Nasaan ba siya? Ayun. Wait lang guys. So, as you can see here, wait lang guys ha. Ayan, di ko makuha yung kung nasaan yung, baliktad. So, ibig sabihin, dapat ganito siya. May orientation pala ang aking pad. Okay. So, ayun. So, as you can see here, suppose we have 1.64 and we want to round this number to one decimal place. Syempre, ito yung one decimal place. And then what we do is we check the number next to it, right? Which is 4. So it will become 1.6 because maintain yan kapag 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if it is like 1.65, it becomes 1.7. Suppose kapag for significant figures naman, we just count the number of significant figures. So ibig sabihin, from here to here, so 4 will be truncated. So 1.12.34, and kapag here, the next number to 4 is 6. So therefore, it will become 12.35. I know that everybody knows this now. And you use it. But there is another rule which we call the round to even. Have you heard that, guys? Round to even.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah, round to even, or bankers round yan, rounding method, in which this is a standard for taxation and even floating point numbers. If you're programming and given a data type, yung method ng pag-round daw ng round formula for a float, yung standard na IEEE 754 na float, it's using round to even o bunkers round. So suppose, ano example niya? For example, if you have 1.25 and you have 1.35, yan. If you have this number and you're going to round it to one place, what will be the value of this one? Anyone?
1.3, sir.
That's 1.3. But the answer is 1.2 based on the bunkers round. How about 1.35? What will be the value?
1.4.
1.4.
This is 1.4. So what do you notice?
1.4.
You're going to round it to the nearest even number. So ibig sabihin, kung yung 2, katabi niya yung 5, no? Katabi niya yung 5, no? At since even siya, mare-retain siya. Gets? Kung yung odd, katabi niya yung 5, mara-round up siya. Guys, this is only applicable for 5, no? Lahat na may 5. Automatically 1.26 is rounded to 1.3. Bakit? Kasi ang 0.5 kasi, if you're going to round of 0.5, 0.5 is in between 0 and 1. Agree guys? Agree? Or
Yes.
kung 1.5 siya, that is in between 1 and 2, right? Tama? Now, sa standard na rule ng rounding, napaka-bias, 'di ba? Napaka-bias of okay pag 0.5 ka na, lagi kang pa-round up. So therefore, since we're talking about taxation, in order to have fair of kunya nagka-calculate ka kasi normally sa calculation kasi hindi mo naiiwasan na lumalagpas ka na ng 2 decimal places. So nagkaroon silang rule na hindi laging paakyat kasi alam naman natin sa US, kasi sa US or somewhere in the western country, significant sa kanila yung mga 0.5 cents, 'di ba? Very significant ang 0.5 cents sa kanila kasi may nabibili. Kaya nilang bumili ng candies ng ng centavo, no? Yun yung, are you aware of that sa US ganon? A penny, tama ba? A penny can go somewhere sa ibang bansa. So sa atin wala kasi masyadong value yan. Pero kung kung usapang ano yan, usapang milyon, malaki yung impact yan, 'di ba? So therefore, sa taxation, syempre kung lagi ang rule natin na ang 0.5 o yung 5 laging pataas, so minsan hindi siya fair. Like for example, so laging pataas. So definitely kung ako yung tataksan, wala kang consideration na pwede mong i-round down, 'di ba? Or when to ano. So syempre yung 0.5 laging 50% 'yun. So 'di ba kapag 50% 'yun, laging dapat um nandoon ka sa decision making na where are you going, to the left, to the right, or nakuha niyo yun, yung point. So definitely, yun yung naging criteria to have a fair um, to have a very fair na rounding or estimating a number, especially for bankers and tax computations. Okay? May question ba kayo doon, guys? Naintindihan niyo kung ano yung tinatawag na bankers rounding, no? Actually hindi yan tinuturo yata sa ibang pero alam niyo yung mga medyo nagfo-focus sa mga common or yung mga math related talaga na ano, they know this, no? Alam nila yan kapag sumasali ka sa contest. Okay? All right. Sige. So as we know, we also normally lahat ng ang guidelines for rounding is normally it depends on circumstances. No? So sometimes it depends on decimal places or it depends on significant figures. It must be stated kung ano man. So for instance, you have here this number, which is 952.34 blah, 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 blah pounds, diba? And we generally round this normally in this figure, right? 952.35. Sometimes you round it to three significant figures, which is 952, sometimes two significant figures, which is 950, sometimes one significant figure, which is 1000. It depends on the circumstances. That's why it is being mentioned. It should be mentioned. And if we are going to apply multiplication, no, as we know, in the rules of multiplication, if you have a two decimal place multiplied by a two decimal place, the result will become four decimal places. But the rule here is whoever in the parameters having a small, no, or short, pinaka least number of significant figures or decimal places, siya yung nangingibabaw. But then again, it depends on the circumstances. Minsan kasi, yun yung default. That should be the default. But sometimes, nire-require pa rin ng exception. Ganon. So for significant figures, just a review, we have three rules. No? Number one rule is any non-zero digits is always significant. No? Like for example, 456 has three decimal places. 45,600 has three significant figures. As you can see, ito yun. So three significant figures. Any zero between two significant figures are significant. So ito, binibilang na siya. No? So guys, pag sinabing naintindihan nyo ba to pag sinabing significant figures?
Yes,
If I'm
sir.
go, kapag, kunyari, 45,600, anong susunod na number sa kanya kung three significant figures siya? Anong susunod na number? Kung three significant figures.
Zero, sir.
Bakit naging zero ang bakit naging zero yung kasunod? 45,600. If you're going to increment it, anong value na three significant figures siya? Hello?
457,000. Ay, 45,700, sir.
Tama. 45,700. Ibig sabihin guys, minsan may mga measurement na gano'n ang increment. 45,600, 45,700, 45,800. Ibig sabihin, kahit na meron kang 45,621, hindi yun pansin nung measurement. Halos pantay yung 45,621 at yung 45,700. Naintindihan niyo yung pinapoint ko doon? Kasi nga, kaya mini-mention yung significant figure kasi normally sa mga measurements, hindi nagmamatter yung hindi significant. Kaya ganyan siya. Ngayon, kung para maging significant yun, edi kailangan mo siyang, gaya 406, di ba? Ibig sabihin, ang kasunod yan, 407, 408, tama? 409, yun, nagiging significant siya. Gets? Naintindihan niyo yung sinasabi ko? So
Yes, sir.
right, good. Next, the third rule is that sa trailing zeros, kapag minention ang trailing zeros, ibig sabihin, yun lang yung significant. Gets? Kasi bakit? Hindi i-mention yung dalawa, yung kunyari, 0.0500. Hindi i-mention yung dalawang zero. Alam natin na hindi yun normally pinapakita. Pero pag pinakita siya, ibig sabihin possible na may 0.501, may 0.502, may 0.503. Nakuha? Yon. So kapag may trailing ka, trailing of zeros, yun yung number of significant figures. Okay?
Sir.
Right. So addition or subtraction, ginagawa natin siya in an old-fashioned or kung paano tinuro sa atin. Again, ang titignan natin kung sino may pinakamababang number ng decimal places, siya yung masusunod. Gets? Yun yung default niyan. Otherwise, stated. unless otherwise stated. Clear, no? Okay. Nakukuha ba guys? Naintindihan? How about my other audience? Naintindihan ba?
Yes po.
Right.
Yes po,
Okay.
sir. Naintindihan ko.
All right. So for example, ito, 2.5 is multiplied by 3.42, which will result to 8.55. Since 2.5 has the least significant figure or list of decimal places, siya yung masusunod. Okay. So let's have an SLE, no? So for this number, 1,374.3414812, sino pwedeng sumagot po ng ABCD? Pakiraise na lang po ng kamay. Huwag kayo mahiya. Hindi naman kayo mababash kapag hindi kayo mababash. Okay, Ian will be number 1. How about for letter B? Si Ian for letter A. Kenji will be letter B. Lerwin will be letter C. Jonathan will be letter D. Okay, Ian, go ahead.
Sir, it should be 1,374.3415.
Okay, very good. Very good, Ian. O, palakpakan natin si Ian. Alright, next. Sino yung susunod? Lerwin, go ahead. Letter B.
Letter C po ako, sir.
Sir, ako.
Okay. Jonathan pala. Sige, go ahead.
Sir, read
Yeah.
po.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sir, sa letter B po is
Kenji.
1,374.34 po, sir.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, for letter C, Lerwin.
For significant figures, 1,374 po.
Thank you. Tama. And Jonathan for letter D. Tama. Okay, very good guys. So you can still remember, no? You can still remember your significant figures and etc. Okay, so okay naman everyone. May question pa ba kayo dun sa mga ganong topics? Are we good? Okay, good. So let's now proceed to the next one, which we learned algebra. So I believe everybody has taken their algebra, no, because it's one of the basic mathematics, especially up to college. This is one of the basic math, and algebra is it's a shorthand of mathematics. In other words, it can from a textual expression, 'di ba, from a story, 'di ba, from a written story, we normally express it to mathematical sentence, which we discuss as a symbolic model, tama, 'di ba? So yun yun si algebra. But yung mga symbols ni algebra are comprises of variables and constants. Tama, 'di ba? Minsan meron siya pinapakita mga constants or whether it is arbitrary or direct constants, no? Ayun. So these variables are normally unknown, 'di ba? Minsan unknown siya yung hinahanap. That's why we represent it with a symbol, no? So, 'yun. So basically, kaya nga shorthand, ina-abbreviate niya yung mathematical sentence. Can somebody read the problem? Can anyone read the problem? Ala. Okay, Lerwin. Okay, sige, go ahead.
All right. So, for first example, suppose you want to see how the cost of running a car depends on the distance you travel. In 1 month, you might find that you drive 6,000 kilometers at a total cost of 2,400 pounds. Then you find the cost per kilometer by dividing the cost by the number of kilometers traveled, giving 2,400 divided by 6,000 is equals to 0.40 pounds per kilometer.
Thank you. Thank you, Lerwin. Okay. So, given that mathematical sentence, no? We represent it into formula. So from that sentence, it becomes in a mathematical expression. Is, oh, sorry, eto siya. Yan, magiging ganito siya. Magiging, ayan, cost per kilometer. No? So normally we write it this way. Oops, sorry. Cost per kilometer. Then also yung total cost over number of kilometers traveled. This is the one, this is the shorthand of this expression. And then, hindi pa tayo dyan nakontento. Normally, kung ano yung mga first letter, no? Ganun yan eh. Kung ano yung mga significant na variable doon sa ano, sa mismong problem is we set it as a variable representation, no, that would abbreviate it. Like for example, C for cost, T for total cost, K for kilometer. And basically, ito yung kinahinatnanan nitong um, expression na to. So we represent it that way. Now, ganun ang algebra. So ang algebra is more of writing equations, no? More of translating a certain uh, big chunk of problem into a mathematical model or abstract model. This one is already our mathematical model that we're going to analyze. Now, the next step is syempre, yung lahat ng mga learnings natin way back nung college algebra or ano man, yung mga binomial expansion, whatsoever, those theories or those backgrounds will be applied, no, para masolve natin yung problem. Okay? Naintindihan ba, guys? Nakukuha? So, syempre, yun, ano na lang yun, yun yung pinaka skill set na yun, no? But of course, it always begin with reading the problem, divide and conquer nga, di ba? You read the problem, you identify what are the given, you identify what are the required parameters. Sometimes if you have to underline all the parameters or the variables, do that para it will help you to, to transform that into this formula, di ba? Until you achieve this abstraction of this problem, 'di ba? Yun 'yun. Kaya abstract model kasi hindi naman natin siya naisip lang natin siya. Tama ba? Naisip lang natin siya, hindi siya nararamdaman, hindi mo siya nakikita, 'di ba? So ini-imagine lang natin. So here we have here a problem. Can somebody read it? Iba naman. Sino ba pwedeng mag-participate? O sige, si Julia muna.
Rinig na po ako.
Yes.
Okay. What is the equation for the percentage of people who voted in an election? What is the percentage if 55,000 people were eligible to vote and 23,000 actually voted?
Thank you, Julia. Okay. Kara, you were raising your hand a while ago, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the next step that we're going to do is we're going to underline the variable. So what are the variables that you see here? So first we have, right, this one? Tama ba?
The people.
Tama ba? Ito, percentage of people. Tama ba?
Yes, sir.
What other than this, ano pa yung mga variable na nakita mo?
Who voted? The people who voted.
Who voted, actually voted, tama? At saka
Yes,
yung
sir.
mga eligible to vote, di ba?
Yes, sir.
So these are three important parameters that comprises the problem. Now, it's about time for us to put it into an equation. Anthony Olasiman, are you here? Anthony, can you hear me?
Hello po, sir.
Hi, okay. So sir, ito sinalungguhitan ko na yung mga parameters. Sabi daw yung percentage of people equal daw siya, 'di ba? Yun yung kailangan natin ano. So ito pwede natin tong i-represent ng anong letter kaya, sir? Pwede ng P, tama? Agree ka ba?
Yes po.
Yes. And definitely the percentage of people who voted, of course we know yung actually voted, sila talaga yung bumoto. And eligible, sila yung pwedeng bumoto, right? So, what do you think is the best um formula or mathematical symbol that we can represent to the percentage of people who voted? Ito pwede natin itong i-represent ng E, tama ba? Tapos ito A, pwede ba yon? So what do you think is the formula? A over E. Do you think? Tama ba ako? The percentage is equal to those number of votes actually
Yes po.
voted over eligible. Tama ba, Anthony?
Yes po, sir.
But since this is percentage, we have to multiply this to 100. Okay? Everybody, nakuha ba? Are you
Yes,
in sync
sir.
with me? Do you have any
Yes, sir.
question? Oo. So, syempre, sabi ko nga, divide and conquer siya. Tsaka, at saka, sinasamahan ng comprehension. Definitely. Na? Okay. So, for this one, for the second problem, what are the things that we need to do? Normally, yung ginagawa natin, once we have this formula, the next step that we're going to do is substitute, right? Substitute the constants that apply. So this will be 23,000 divided by 55,000 multiplied by 100. So those are the steps. So ano nga ulit yung mga steps natin? Of course, we read, right? We read, we for us not to be not to be overwhelmed, we underline important variables, tama ba? Then we write equation, 'di ba? We write the equation. Actually, pwede nga hindi mo muna i-represent. Pwedeng people, percentage of people is equal to actual people over eligible people. Tama ba? Or actual voted over eligible voted times 100%. Pwedeng ganun. Tapos saka mo siya lalagyan ng mga shorthand. No? Then after that, you substitute the value of the given, 'di ba? What are those given constants, 'di ba? And then after that, you will then you can now find the value of the unknown. Okay? Nakuha? So algebra is more of relationship, no? Relationship of ano. And here, for this second problem, of course, what do we do? So ito. So normally we ano no, we distribute, we do all the properties that we know, associative, um um yon, associative, distributive, and so on. And then after that, we substitute the value of a given variable or ano. So ito rin, normally we evaluate, no? So we distribute this. How about this one? Or sometimes the sign, no? We manage to apply the proper laws of ano of addition and subtraction here. How about here? Do you remember your FOIL method? Do you remember your
Yes,
FOIL
sir.
method?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yun.
Yes po,
So
sir.
from there you can apply that, no? So then again, algebra is basically representing it, no? Representing it. And the next thing that you should do is you have to apply your shepherd, the concepts of algebra. Now, solving equations, no? So equation is basically expressions that shows a relationship between a set of constants, variables, and normally equations have two sides, left and right? Ganun yan eh. Tapos sa gitna yung equation sign, no? Yung parallel line, no? So normally, yung lahat ng mga nasa left are unknowns. Lahat ng mga nasa right are knowns. So ang ginagawa natin, first, ayan nga, you develop, you understand the problem. After understanding the problem, you tend to find where are the constants, where are the variables. Then you do transposition, no? Pag i-rearrange niyo yan in such a way, ang no unknown nasa left, ang known nasa right. Then after that, you substitute, no? And then find the unknown variable. Okay, nakuha yung steps nun. Hello. Sa totoo lang, I don't know if your math teachers way back nung anong algebra days are emphasizing those steps. kasi minsan may baka kasi yung mga teachers baka akala alam niyo na, 'di ba no? Pero mas maigi kasi may mga iba kasing students na hindi alam yun. May nakakita pa nga ako dati na 5 is equal to x na pinakita na gano'n. So um the method, no, the method is correct, 'di ba? But the way it should be represented, or in terms of inference, you are claiming that 5 is equal to an unknown value, something like that. So it doesn't make any sense, right? So dapat para siyang sentence na may subject and predicate, tama? Kumbaga, ganun siya kasi ang mathematics or it's an abstract model. So basically, it's just an abstraction of what we are imagining. So dapat yung mga laws of grammar or yung yun are still intact, no, dun sa anong yun. So here, so how do we solve this one? Okay, so basically the first equation, suppose that you have a plus b is equal to c plus d. So this is an equation because you can see this sign. Now, what are given, guys? What are the givens? A, B, and C. So what are you going to do? You're going to transpose the unknown to the left and the unknown to the right, leaving D is equal to what? A plus B minus C. Do you agree, guys?
Sir.
Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
And what's the next step? After having this arrangement, you substitute. And then we already have the answer for this problem, right? Agree? Can you give me some reactions? Can you give me a bump if you are agreeing?
Yes,
All right.
sir.
All right, good. Now, the second given, take note, guys, this is SLE. Ah. What is SLE? This is structured learning experience. Supposedly, this is your chance para sumagot or whatsoever. Now, but of course, for now, pwede natin muna i-bonus kasi nga, ano siya, but then again, tandaan nyo, kapag meron akong ganitong SLE, it's a measurement of performance. So everybody that are participating to this one will get that. Take note, ilang percent po ang ating class standing? 70%. Malaki siya, di ba? So, ganitong ano lang kayo, crowd lang eh, no? Mag-crowd lang kayo is okay na sa akin yan kasi ibig sabihin you're supporting and participating for the class. So what do we do this? Oh, we do cross multiplication, right? We can do cross multiplication. Actually, y is the one that is need to be found. So we're going to find ways. We're going to rearrange this equation in such a way that y will be ano on the other side. So that will leave us to what? Y is equal to what, guys? 2c times 2a minus 7 all over what? 6 times 3b minus 5. Do you agree? Tama ba ako?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So yun, I know that you already know. Baka bore kayo. Just tell me, no? Just tell me if you feel bored doon sa dinidiscuss natin. No, I can adjust if I can do a faster pace or or ako yung mabilis. Please tell me so, okay? All right. All right. How about the last portion or the third problem at the bottom of this line? Can somebody read it? Any volunteer to read? Okay, let's have Luis. Go ahead,
Ah,
Luis.
sir, rinig po ba ako?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Last October, the Porth Marion Hotel paid £1,800 for heat and power, with heat costing 300 more pounds than double the cost of the power. How much did the power cost?
All right. Thank you very much, Luis. So here, in this problem, ayan na. Ito na yung mga problem na very sometimes challenging for some people. I don't know if that's true. Okay. Eto, so ano ulit ang gagawin natin? Let's underline. So what are the variables here? So first we have what? Heat and power. Agree, everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. And then at the same time, we have here constants 1,800 and we have 300 more of the double of power. Tama? So sometimes, ito lang yung ginagawa natin dyan. So yan, you have to underline that so that yan yung mga makita natin. So sometimes, when we represent this word, we just take the first letter. No? So sabi dito, for power and for the cost of the power and heat, the total number of amount that the hotel paid is 1,800. Therefore, you can write it into that equation that H plus P is equal to 1,800. Agree? Now, having that, this is the first sentence. No? Or sometimes we call this first equations. The second equation is what? Sabi dito may relationship. Anong relationship? Heat costing 300 more, double the cost of power. Therefore, meron siyang heat is equal to what? 300 more, right? 300 more of the two, twice of the cost of the power. And this is now our second equations. Now, second equation. Now, normally, in order to solve two variables, it should have also two equations. Or normally, in order for us to solve problems that involves linear, normally this is what we call a systems of linear equation. When we have this kind of problems, what normally what we do is um, kailangan natin makahanap kung ilan yung variables ko, ganun dapat kadami yung number of sentences. It will give you a square matrix actually, or a balance of the unknowns and the variables. Yun. Otherwise, may mga cases na hindi sila pantay, meaning mas marami yung mas marami yung um what do you call that? Mas marami yung variable compared sa sentences o kaya sa equation. Ang tawag natin doon Diophantine equation. So pag ganun may Diophantine equation, sometimes it requires common sense, it requires trial and error to solve the problem. So medyo mahirap at challenging kapag Diophantine equation siya. And uh, the number of equations sometimes are called constraints. Ayan, pag nag-linear programming tayo, ang tawag doon constraints kasi it can be conditions, right? Yun. So from this equation, so we have two equations and two unknowns. What do we do on this one? Normally we arrange it, no? Ina-arrange siya into standard form, no? And then after that, we apply yung mga knowledge natin. So I think what you know is, uh, have you heard about substitution, solution by substitutions?
Yes po, sir.
Which is the tendency is we allow ito, we already have h here, which is 2p plus 300, and then we substitute the value of h here. So this will become 2p plus p, which is equal to 1000. Sorry, 2p plus 300 na plus 300 plus p is equal to 1,800. And then from here, we solve the value of p. No, this is actually equal to what? 3p, which is equal to 1,500. Therefore, p is equal to what? 1,500 divided by 3. That is equal to, can you help me?
500.
500. Yun. So, yung P daw natin ay 500. Therefore, if we're going to apply that P here, which is H is equal to 1,000 plus 300, which is equal to 1,300, and so on. So that's how we solve the problem. So one method is what we call the substitution. Have you heard about elimination? Hello? Yes or no? It's okay to say no if you don't remember or ano.
No, sir.
Okay. Napansin ko yan sa batch nyo. Lahat na tinatanong ko, hindi alam yung elimination. But anyway, we're going to review that. I believe na-encounter nyo na siya, but then nalimutan lang siguro, no? So sige, discuss natin siya later. Papunta tayo doon. Okay, we have another problem. Can somebody read the problem and then let's try to solve it? Anyone? Please raise your hand. Francesca, go ahead.
Hello po, sir. Rinig po.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay po. So, Sempervig Securities employs 10 people with costs of 500,000 euros a year. This cost includes fixed overheads of 100,000 euro and a variable cost for each person employed. What is the variable cost? What is the total cost of Sempervig expense to employ 20 people?
All right. Thank you very much, Francesca. Okay. Now, I'm just going to explain the problem before we move on doon sa ano. So there are two questions being asked, right? Tama ba? First is what is the variable cost for each employee? At the same time, if there would be an expansion of 20 people, what will be the total cost? Okay? So may before and after tayo dito. So dito, sinabi sa first constraint that s- we know that uh, total cost, normally total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. Tama ba? For example, kung may monthly bill kayo, tama ba, monthly bill, o monthly na binabayaran, kino-comprise yan ng mga fixed cost plus variable cost. What are the fixed costs? O, kunyari, renta ng bahay, hindi naman nagbabago yan, di ba? O kaya yung telepono, no, unless otherwise wala, hindi na uso niya yun eh, or internet, ang internet normally fixed lang yung value. So those are fixed overhead which is predictable. Variable costs are the ones na hindi natin hindi siya fixed kasi basically pwedeng depende siya sa amount of consumption natin, right? Like yung bill ng kuryente, nagva-vary siya depende sa kung maraming parameters na nakaka-affect para doon. So from here, ito yung pinaka model natin. Actually, this is the model. Total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost, 'di ba? Now, kahit anong formula, ito yon or kahit anong sitwasyon yan yung formula. For this problem, we can apply that. Which is, sabi niya dito, if I have 10 people with cost of 500,000 euros a year, so that this is the total cost. This cost has a fixed overhead, so may fixed overhead na siya na 100,000 and variable cost for each employee. Therefore, the formula is anong fixed cost natin? So we have here what is our variable cost? So, syempre, 10 times the variable cost plus 100,000 is equal to 500,000. So, ito na po yung pinaka equation natin na dinerive natin dito sa isang model na to. No? Model na yan. Ginagamit na yan. So, here we can find the variable cost which is equal to what? 400. Your variable cost is equal to 400, which is 400 euros kasi per employee. As you can see, just by working on this equation, so 100,000, pag nilipat natin sa kabila, magiging 400,000 to. 400,000 divided by 10 is 40,000. Sorry naman. Yan. So 40,000 euro ang individual variable cost natin. Now, the next question is, suppose naging 20 to, naging 20 to, no? It increased to 20. So therefore, the total cost will also increase, right? Leaving us with 20 multiplied by 400,000. Tama naman ang 400,000, tama ba guys? Or 40,000 talaga? 40, no?
40, sir.
40,000. So sorry. This is 40,000 plus 100,000 na fixed cost is equal to what value? So this will become 80,000. Tama ba? 800? That's 800,000, right?
Yes po.
Plus 100,000. So that the new total cost, if we expand to 20 people, will be 900,000 euros. Wow, laki.
Sheesh.
Laking pera. No? Okay? Agree? Okay ba tayo doon? Naintindihan niyo ba yung ginagawa natin? Meron bang
Yes
nalilito?
po.
Yes po,
Oo.
sir.
please ano no, please raise your hand or ask question, guys. I would appreciate people who will ask question. Yan. Thank you, Maria, for ano no, for showing your solution in the chat. I appreciate this, no. Thank you very much. Ayun. Okay. So sige, since we're already good with this one, we can now move to the next problem. So the next problem is can somebody read the problem? Okay, Alex, can you please read the problem?
Hello sir, rinig po ako.
Yes po.
So ito po. 1,200 parts arrived from a manufacturer in two batches. Each unit of the first batch cost $37, while each unit of the second batch cost $35. If the total cost is $43,600, how many units were in each batch?
Yes. So this is unknown, the batch 1 and the batch 2. Normally yun no, guys. Totoo nangyayari to sa buhay natin. Whenever I buy Lazada, may mga times na bumili ako ngayon, yung same item, bibiling ko ulit sa susunod na araw, na minsan, you can avail promo, you can avail, di ba, may mga promo ka or na hindi mo na ma-avail sa mga susunod na batches of delivery mo. So, nangyayari to sa totoong buhay. So, from this problem, we can write the mathematical sentence. So the first mathematical sentence is sabi daw yung total daw ng dalawang batches. This is in ano no, not on cost but units. So batch 1 plus batch 2 is equal to 1,200. Agree? Agree na?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Thumbs up. Okay. Next equation is in terms of cost, no? So sabi dito, um the cost of batch 1 is 37 per unit, 35 for batch 2 respectively, no? So basically, if we're going to multiply this to the number, yan yung total cost ng batch 1. So 37 batch 1 plus 35 batch 2 is equal to 43,600. Yan. And the question is, what is B1 and B2? Okay? So, all right, sige. Syempre, paano natin i-solve? Pagka substitution, we just have to let one variable to represent a certain equation, and then we substitute that no to the next equation, and then we find the unknown and then substitute the value of that unknown to the first equation. Now, sabi niyon, medyo nalimutan niya na yung elimination, no? So ngayon, isolve natin siya by elimination. Or para meron tayong reference, solve na natin siya ng ano? Okay lang ba 'yun? Solve na natin siya ng substitution tapos solve natin ng elimination. Okay lang ba 'yun?
Yes, sir.
Alright,
Yes po.
sige. So first, what do you want? B1 or B2 muna? Hanapin. Ang gusto niyo?
B1, sir.
Alright, so we can let B1 be equal to 1,200 minus B2. Tama, guys? So from here, we can substitute this value to here, giving me 37 multiplied by 1,200 minus B2. Tama ba, guys? Plus 35 B2. Nakapag-download na ba kayo ng Speed Crunch, guys? Can you
Yes,
help
sir.
me solving this one? So what is 37 times 1,200? Yes? Paki-calculate. What is 37 times 1,200? Padictate po.
44,400.
44,400.
Yes, 44,400 minus 37 B2 plus 35 B2, which is equal to 43,600. So basically, ito, pwede ko ito ilipat sa kabila. 43,600 minus 44,000 is equal to what? How much? 43,000 minus 44,000. That is negative.
800.
Guy, 800. Very good. Definitely, this will become negative 2B2. Therefore, our B2 is equal to what?
400.
400. Diba? If this is 400, therefore, what is my B1? My B1 is equal to 1,200 minus 400, which is equal to 800. Tama ba?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, let's solve this using elimination and using elimination, no? So for elimination, let's say right, normally yung ginagawa natin, nag-i-eliminate tayo ng isang variable. I believe na baka naaalala to ng iba sa inyo, no? Gosh, teka lang guys, ayaw lumabas. Sige na. Science space. B1 plus B2 is equal to 1,200. And then 37B1 plus 35B2 is equal to 43,600. Ngayon, which of the two equations you want to eliminate first? Suppose let's eliminate B2. Gusto nyo ba? To eliminate B2, you just have to multiply this first equation by the weight of B2 no second equation pero additive inverse. So therefore, that is negative 35. So this will lead to what? 35. Wait lang guys. This will lead to what? Can you dictate? Negative 35 B1 minus 35 B2 is equal to what is 35 times 1,200? Guys, please help.
42,000, sir.
Thank you. And it's negative 42,000. And then I'll just copy the second equation, which is 37 B1 plus 35 B2, which is equal to 43,600. Now, given these two equation, since this is ano, pwede na ma-eliminate, I will just add these two equation. If I add these two equation, ano mangyari kay B2? Maka-cancel out siya. So this will leave me with 2B1 equals to what is 43,600 minus 4,200? This is 800. Tama ba? Therefore, B1 will be equal to 400. Oops, mali ako. 1,600 to. Sorry. Tama ba? 43,600 minus 42,000 is 1,600. Therefore, B1 is equal to 800. So, match siya doon. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Ayun. Naalala nyo na kung paano yung elimination? Tapos ito, kung gusto natin i-eliminate naman si B1, we have to multiply the first equation by negative 37 para makancel natin siya. So this will leave the negative 37 B1 minus 30, 37 B2, which is equal to 1,200, I think negative 4,400 na. Ayan. Tapos we just copy the second equation, B2, which is equal to 43,600. So therefore here, if we're going to add this to equation, this will be canceled. This will become negative 2B2, right? Which is equal to what is 44,000 and 43,600? The difference, it's negative 800. Therefore, B2 will become 400. So yun. So same lang ang magiging story. Magiging sagot yan. Any question? Nakuha? Are you still okay, class?
Sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay pa? Naintindihan pa? Sino nang pagod na? All right. Okay, next. Inequalities, no? So sige, konting ano muna. Then after, maybe by 8 o'clock, we can have 15-minute break. Pwede ba yan, guys? Let's have a 15-minute break. 15-minute break ng 8 o'clock. So, sige. Okay, we have 10 minutes. Inequalities. So, kanina, equalities yung topic natin. Pag equality, sinasabi natin na yung expression on the left is equal to the expression to the right. So, si inequalities naman has something to do, is also a relationship of variables. But this time, as we know, I believe everybody knows this, kung ano ibig sabihin, A is less than B, A is less than or equal to B, A greater than B. So, ano din yan? These are relationships. And the way we solve inequalities, same lang din sa kung paano natin sinasolve ang equation. Whatever we do on the left will be also performed on the right. No? So for example, if we have a given x is equal to y, sorry, x is greater than or equal to y, whatever kung anong inad natin sa left, i-add din natin sa right. If we multiply 2 on the left, mag-multiply din tayo ng 2 sa right. Kapag nag-divide tayo ng a sa left, magdi-divide din tayo ng a sa right. Okay? Nakuha? Nakuha, guys?
Yes po,
Now,
sir.
now, ang sagot, normally, if we evaluate inequalities, the answer is not finite na katulad ng equation. Si equation, finite na 600, 400, 800. Pero, pagdating kay inequalities, it's a range. Range ang kanyang sagot. So we have here an example. So what can you say if 6x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 4x plus 3? So basically, what are the values of x that will satisfy this expression, right? So therefore, if we have 6x minus 4, which is greater than or equal to 4x plus 3, what we do is just solve it the way normal equations, no? Kung paano natin mag-solve ng normal equation. So basically, lipat natin dito, lipat natin, di ba lahat ng mga variables, lipat sa left, lahat ng mga constants sa right. So this will become 6 minus 4, which is 2x, which is greater than or equal to, what is 4 plus 3? That is 7. Therefore, our x is greater than or equal to 7 over 2, or or x is greater than or equal to 3.5. So therefore, anong solusyon nito? Basically, may number line tayo nung araw, ganyan natin nire-represent. So suppose nandito 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. Di ba ang ginagawa natin is nandito yung 0.5, kapag greater than or equal, solid na bilog. Kapag ka naman greater than lang, butas, di ba? So what we do is, ito yung value na yon, sinishade natin to, di ba? So ito yung value na x is greater than or equal to 3.5. No, so if we're going to apply that equation, so 7 over 2 to this, should it satisfy? So for example, 6 multiplied by 7 over 2 minus 4, is it greater than or equal to 4 times 7 over 2 plus 3? So what is this? This is 3 times 7, 21. Tama ba? 6, again, this can be canceled. 3 times 7 is 21. 21 minus 4 is ilan? 17. So this is what? This is 8, right? This will become 4, 2, 14 plus 3 is, ayan, 17 din. Is 17 greater than or equal to 17? Yes, it's correct. Oh, paano kung a little bit higher? Maybe 4, di ba? 4 is greater. So this is 6 times 4 minus 4. Is it greater than or equal to 4 multiplied by 4 plus 3? What is 6 times 4? 24 minus 4, 20. Is it greater than or equal to 4 times 4? 16 plus 3, 19. Yes, it's true. So lahat ng range na mas mataas sa 3.5 will be valid, will be valid for this expression. How about letter B? If we have letter B, ito may trick to. y over negative 3 is equal is it greater than greater than 4. Now, if this is y greater than, pwede natin multiply doon, which is negative 12. Sabi daw, kapag nagbabago daw yung sign, naging negative, mag-change daw yan. Magiging y is less than 12. Ito yung magiging sagot. Okay? Pag nagbabago yung sign, pag naging negative, nagiging ganyan. Okay? Okay, class?
Sir.
Right. So, next topic is here. We're not going to discuss, no, we're going to discuss the different simultaneous equations of also known as linear equation. So, lahat ng mga sinod natin kanina puro ganyan, no? So, we learned that there are two methods, no? There are two traditional methods that we can use. Number one is solution using substitution, and the other one is the solution using elimination. Very old school. Okay. Ngayon, may problema. Because in reality, hindi lang naman two equation, two unknowns, three equation, three unknowns ang given. There are cases na it involves multivariate data. Di ba? Remember, no, napag-usapan natin, pag big data pinag-uusapan, you consider multivariate data. So if you have multivariate data, baka magkaroon ka ng 10 equations, 10 unknowns. Ngayon, kung 10 equation, 10 unknowns, di ba nakakapagod mag-solve ng, ng substitution? Nakakapagod yun. Dun nagiging hassle yung ganong method. So ngayon, there are easy method to solve that um, without the excruciating part of algebra, kasi kapag marami ka ng variables na nakakita, nakakahilo. So we can have matrix solution, which is Kramer's rule, no? Kramer's rule use and then we have Gaussian elimination. We will also discuss Gauss-Jordan method. And then for simulation method, we have iterative methods such as Jacobi method and Gauss-Seidel. So, okay, before we move to that solution, no? So ito yung isang problem na ipapakita ko sa inyo. So, try to solve it, guys. Try to solve this equation. I will ask you on the solution, no, what is x and y for two equation to unknown sa ibabaw and three equation, three unknowns sa baba. No? Then later on, we're going to solve this with a different method na hindi substitution and elimination. But for now, I will leave you this problem. No? Then we'll be back to by 8:15. Okay, guys? Pwede ba yan?
Yes
Opo,
po,
sir.
sir.
All right, sige. Yun muna. So I'll just leave you this. Try to solve it, no? Then mamaya tanungan portion tayo. Then let's have a different approach. All right. Thank you, guys. Let's be back by 8:15. Hello, good evening. Okay na kaya, guys?
Yes, sir.
Hello po, sir. Yes po.
Okay, let's proceed. So, okay. So what's your solution on this one? For this one, what is the value of x here? Here, x, y, and z. Anyone? Or you want to type it in the chat na lang? Sige, pakitype mo na lang sa chat. Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Sa part 2, most of you have solved it with 4 and 6. Anyway, i-validate natin yan later, no? So, okay. What else? How about yung 3 by 3 yun? Meron si 321, tama yan. Tama yan sa'yo. Okay. Okay. Sige. So, ayan si na halos pare-pareho yung sagot. That's good. Lerwin, i-counter check mo yung sa'yo, no? And then, yeah, Jillian and si Ian ang nakasolve ng 3 equation, 3 unknowns. Now, let's discuss how to solve it in a different way in which yun nga, aside from as I said, kapag gumamit tayo ng substitution and and elimination, I believe tapos ng 3 unknowns. Is it because di pa kayo tapos? Tama ba? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Guys, we have, napapansin ko yung 3 seconds pregnant pause. So, please answer immediately if it is a yes or no question lang naman. What do you think? Ayan, di pa tapos. Kasi, medyo mahaba, no? Medyo mahaba talaga yung pagsasagot ng ano. Tama ba? Nandito ba yung iba? Can you please raise your hand if you have,
Yes po.
you can hear me? Tignan ko lang, pa-raise ang ng hand para makita ko kasi mga actively listening. Yan, dami. 9, no? Oh, I got 16, no? Out of, ilan to? 35. Oh, where are the others? 20. 28. Okay. So I don't know. Ano tong ibang to? 27. We are 35 but only 27 responded. O ano na? Ano to mga to? Guest? You have a guest? Okay. All right. Sige, thank you very much, no? Makikita natin next time yan, yung mga participation ng bawat isa. Okay. So, yeah, I can say na yung second given is medyo challenging na siya for elimination and substitution, no? Now, let's have another method which is a matrix solution. And matrix is basically similar to an array. I believe na kapag na kayo ng array, 'di ba? Sa programming, yung concept ng array in which an array is any number na nakapaloob siya. Nag-share sila ng isang data type. And basically kapag matrix, kinocompose siya ng row. So meron siya row 1, row 2, and column. So basically, ganyan ang tsura niya. So ang size ng matrix ko is represented by row by column. So as you can see, this is how many row 2 by 3 yan. So yan yon. Or it can be a row matrix. Kapag row matrix, isang row lang siya. Kapag column matrix, isang buong column lang siya. Or minsan, ito, rectangular siya. Or square. Pag sinabing square, pantay ang number of rows and number of columns. Now, I will teach you this approach. I believe this approach is new to you, right? Tama ba? First time niyo ba makakita ng matrix?
Sir.
Yes po.
Awesome. So we're going to tignan natin to, no. So there are two types of representation of systems of linear equation using matrix. Number one is the augmented matrix, no. In which, for example, you were given this kind of equation, which is 2x plus 5y is equal to 10, and then 3x plus 4y is equal to 24. Now, what you're going to do is just extract the coefficients and constants. This is the coefficients for x, this is the coefficients for y, this is the these are the constants. So as you can see, yung first column will be for the variable x, the second column will be variable of y, and the constants will be um in this row, in this column. So yun lang. So just transform, 'di ba? These equations into this form. Okay? Naintindihan? Naintindihan, guys?
Po, sir.
Sir.
All right. Let's have an SLE. Can you say to me kung ano yung sagot dito? From these three equation, three unknowns, what would be the equivalent augmented matrix? So this will be, dictate,
7 po.
7.
7. This is what?
1.
1.
It's
6.
negative 1.
Negative 1.
This is
Positive
6.
6.
Negative
Negative
8.
8.
Negative 8.
7.
7. Negative
Negative
5.
5.
Positive 7.
7.
1.
1.
8.
0.
Ay,
3.
tama. Dahil wala kang
tama.
variable
Yes po. 0 po yun.
3.
3.
3. Negative 4.
Negative 5.
Negative 5.
All right, very good. So this will be the equivalent augmented matrix of these systems of equation. Very good, guys. Very good. Now, the next one is kung meron kang augmented matrix, the second form is what we call the standard form. The standard form is generalized by a matrix A by multiplied a matrix A is multiplied to a matrix, which is X, which is equal to a constant matrix. Matrix A is normally the coefficient of this variable. So given this equation, matrix A will be the matrix of all coefficients. So as you can see here, matrix A, this is A, is 2, 3, 5, negative 1. So this was extracted in this part. The variable x will be a column matrix of the variables which is x and y, kaya x and y yan, which is equal to the constants. So this column matrix is your constant. So ganyan siya i-represent. Okay? Nakikita? Naintindihan ba? Any
Yes po.
question?
Opo, sir.
All right, good. Now, let's go to this one. What would be, let's extract, given this standard form, this is a standard form matrix, what would be the equivalent given equations? I will start for the first equation, and then once you have seen the pattern, kindly please dictate the second equation and the third equation. So the first equation is negative 2x plus y minus 3z is equal to negative 3. So this is the first equation. Did you get the pattern, guys? Were you able to get the pattern? Can you please dictate to me the second equation?
Negative 3x
Negative 3x
plus 2y
plus 2y minus
minus
2z
2z equals negative
equals
4.
negative 4.
Negative 4.
Very good, guys. Very good. How about for the third equation?
Negative
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 x
1x
minus
minus negative 3y minus z
minus 1z
is equal
is
to 3.
equals to 3.
All right, very good. Okay, just a correction. You don't have to say negative 1z or negative x, negative negative 1x. It's negative x because normally yung mga yung 1 silent na siya, 'di ba, sa algebra. Okay? So, may tanong kayo dito. Do you have any question about augmented matrix and um standard form matrix? Are we good? Are we good to go? Give me a chat of bomb. Can you give me can you throw a thumbs up? So okay naman, naintindihan guys ha? Wala tayong tanong, no? All right, that's a good thank you very much guys. Okay. Now, the next method that I'm going to teach you is how to solve the problems or any solution to any problems in algebra systems of equations using this the matrix solution. The first solution that I'm going to show you is the Kramer's method. No? Kramer's method deals with standard form. So may tuturo ko sa inyo na pang standard form tsaka pang augmented matrix. So unahin muna natin ang standard form. So sa standard form, we need to know to get the determinants of a matrix. In mathematics, the determinants is scalar value that is a function of the entries of the square matrix. So normally, para makuha natin ang determinants, dapat square matrix. It allows characterizing some properties of the matrix and the linear map represented by the matrix. So in order to compute for the determinants and compute for the Kramer's rule, no? Kramer's rule requires determinants. No? One is the basket method, which is okay siya for 2 by 2 and 3 by 3. Yun lang. More than 3 by 3, 4 by 4, 5 by 5, hindi na natin pwedeng i-basket method. We can use cofactor. So 4 by 4, 5 by 5, and up. Cofactor na po tayo. Or, meron po tayong pangatlo, which is pivotal method. Yan. So, didiscuss natin lahat yan. Ngayon, okay, let's have one solution. So, paano ginagawa ang basket method? So, in order to find the determinants of a basket method, you have to multiply. Given this matrix, i-multiply natin yung pababa, no? You just have to do a crisscross. The product of the basket going down minus the product of the basket going up. So therefore, if you're going to get the determinants of matrix A, B, C, D, it is equal to AD, A times D minus CB. Therefore, if you have 8, 15, 7, negative 3, you have to multiply 8 times negative 3, ito siya, minus nung pataas, which is 7 times 15. So just evaluate that, and this will become negative 124. Sorry, negative 129. Any question? Nakukuha? Naalala? Baka parang cross multiplication? Yes. Pero kapag 3 by 3, nagiging product of sums na siya. Sum of products pala. Sorry. Sum of products. Okay? Naintindihan? Okay. Now, given this problem, what is our determinants? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you please compute kung ano yung magiging determinants? Then post it in the chat kung ano yung value na na-compute ni. So basically, negative 2 raw. Okay, thank you. Bisong masagot. Thank you. So basically, product ng pababa, tama? Minus product ng pataas. So tama kayo guys. Very good, very good. Yeah, I'll give you a heart reaction because you were able to capture this lesson. Okay. So okay lang ba? Madali? Nakuha natin? Naintindihan natin yung lesson? Okay, good. Okay. Now, we have now 3 by 3. So paano kapag 3 by 3 ang ating basket? What you're going to do is to this given matrix, extend the first two column. So 2, 1, 0, 3, 4, negative 4. From there, mag-basket tayo ng tigta tatlo. pababa, pababa, at pababa. Okay? And then mag-basket tayo pataas. Weave. In other words, weave. I-weave natin siya. There. So ngayon, ang gagawin daw, the product of the weave downwards, no, the sum of the product of each weave downwards. So here, 2 times 3 times 0, 1 times plus 1 times negative 1 times 4 plus 3 times 0 times negative 4 minus ng mga sum of products nung pataas naman. Take note ha. Sum of products ng pababa minus sum of products ng pataas. Nakuha guys? Naintindihan yung paano yung basket and weave method natin? Okay, bump please for the others. Okay, so from there, by evaluating this, negative 14. Ang dali nito guys, alam niyo kung bakit? Ang saya nito pag may mga zero, kasi may isang zero lang, automatic, maaano siya, mako-cross out. So medyo mabilis talaga mag-compute ng basket and weave. Now, let's have a true problem. Let's have this equation. Suppose you have 2x minus y, right? You have x minus y is equal to 4, and you have 2x plus y, which is equal to 2. Now, question, what is my matrix A? Yung coefficient matrix? It is 1, negative 1, 2, 1. Agree, guys? Do you agree that
Yes,
this is
sir.
all right? So basically, we're going to get the determinants of this coefficient matrix. So what is that? What is the result? That's 1 times 1 minus 2 times negative 1. The answer should be 3. Agree? Tama ba? 1 times 1 is 1. 1 minus negative 2, diba? 1 minus negative 2 is 3. Tama, guys? Okay? Nakuha? Bump kapag nakuha naman? Or in reactions, please? Okay? Now, how to solve for x and y? So first, we have to get the dx and dy. Kung ilan yung variable mo, kunin natin yung determinants along x, determinants along y. How to do that? Here, di ba ito yung main matrix ko, guys? Di ba? Ito yung main matrix, di ba? Tama? Ngayon, we know that this is the column for x, this is the column for y. If you are looking for x, you have to replace the coefficient matrix. What is our coefficient matrix? 4, 2. Agree? Agree? This 4, 2. Wala nag-react. For agree? Coefficient
Yes,
matrix
sir.
natin. Okay. This coefficient matrix, we are going to replace, no? Kung ano yung hinahanap natin. So this time, yung 1 and 2, i-replace natin ng 4, 2. And then let's get the determinants of that dx, no? No? Let's get the determinants of 4, negative 1 to 1. So 4 times 1 plus 2, that is 6. Right? Now, for dy naman, we're going to replace naman itong column na to ng ng coefficient matrix, which is 1, 4, 2, 2, which is equal to 1 times 2, 2, minus 8, which is negative 6. Now, how to get x and y? Kramer's rule is the determinants along x divided by the determinants of the coefficient matrix. So therefore, as we know, dx is 6 and d is 3. Therefore, the answer for x is 2. To get y, the determinants of y should be divided by the determinants of x. Sorry, the determinants of the coefficient matrix, which is negative 6 over 3, which is negative 2. Okay ba siya? Madali lang ba? Okay. Now, let's go back to the previous problem. This is our previous problem. Tama ba? Saan ba yan? Let's write it. So as we know, this is 4x minus y minus 3y, which ano, pag in-arrange ko. this is equal to x plus y equals to 10. Tama ba? Tama ba, guys?
Yes
Yes
po.
po, sir.
So what is my coefficient matrix, or that my coefficient matrix is equal to what? 4, -3, 1, and 1. Agree? What is my
Yes, sir.
constant matrix? -2 and 10. Tama? Now,
Yes
Opo.
po.
how to solve for x? My x is equal to the determinants of what? Replace ko to. -2, 10, -3, 1. Tama? Divided by the determinants of the, what do you call this? The coefficient matrix, which is 4, 1, -3, 1. Now, what's the answer? What is 2 times, -2 times 1, guys? That's -2. -2 plus 30,
Sir, nawala po
28.
yung screen share nyo.
Ano, wala ba? Sorry naman. Malamang dahil sa ano. Na, baka napipindot ko yung ano. Yan. Can you see now? Can you see my screen?
Okay na
Kita
po.
na
Yes,
mo, sir.
sir.
All right. So
Kita
let's
na po, sir.
let's ano, no, let's repeat. So this is our coefficient matrix. This is my sorry, this is my coefficient matrix. This is my constant matrix. Now, in order for me to get the value of x, I have to get the determinants of this matrix, which I replace the x column by the constant, diba? -2 and 10, and then -3 and 1. So what is the value of these determinants? -2 times 1 is -2, tama? -2 plus 30 is 28. Is that correct, guys? Is that correct?
Opo.
Okay. Then the determinants of the coefficient matrix is 4 times 1, 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. So what is the answer? 28 over 7 is 4. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Opo.
Did we get the same answer, guys?
Yes po,
So
sir.
very good. So for a y, we just have to replace the constant to this column. So this will become 4, -2, 1, 10. Tama, guys, na? Divided by 7 na to. 7 na kasi ito pa rin yung gagamitin ko. So this is 4 times 10, which is 40. 40 plus 2 is 42, right? 42 over 7 is 6. Agree? So the answer is 4 and 6 respectively. Okay? What can you say? Parang mas mabilis pa siya doon sa kahit 2 by 2 siya, parang mas mabilis pa rin siyang i-compute, no? Using elimination and substitution. Tama ba? Alright.
Yes.
So, let's now try solving this equation, the last equation, no? The last equation, no? By ano, no? Using this method. So, I'll just have to erase, guys, no? Erase natin para ano? Eraser. Okay ba? Okay. Anyway, this is recorded. So, mababalikan nyo naman yan. Okay. So, let's rearrange the equation. And then, let's solve, no? Maganda dito pag na-solve mo na yung isa yung determinants ng coefficient. Madali na mag-solve, di ba? Ng ano. Alright, sige, sige. Alright. Now, what are the given? I think this is already the form, right? Ito naka-form na siya. So, what will be my letter A? My A is what? 2, 1, 2. Tama ba? 1, -2, 3. What else? -1, 1, 1. Agree? Tapos sabi ko, extend natin, di ba? 2, 1, 1, -2, -1, -1, and 1. Okay, so ngayon tatlo-tatlo daw tuhog. Let's sweep. So what is the value now? 2 times negative 2 times 1. That is negative 4. Agree? Tama? Plus 1 times 3 times negative 1. Negative 3. Tama? 2 times 1 times 1. 2. Tama? Please agree. If
Opo, sir.
Yes po, sir.
And please, guys, medyo maano ako sa arithmetic, so you have to watch it out, okay? Minus daw ng mga pataas. Ito yung pataas. Negative 1 times negative 2 times 2, magiging positive yan. So 4. Right? 4 plus 1 times 3 times 2, 6. My God. 6. Next is, what's next? 1, 1, 1 plus 1. So what's the answer? So this will give us negative 7, right? Negative 7
Negative 5.
plus
5.
2, negative 5 minus 11. So negative 16. Tama? That will be the determinants nung ating matrix. Now, how to solve for x? X is equal to what? So we have to replace, tama ba? Yung x matrix nito, right? This will become 10, 2, oops, sorry, 2, 0. Tama ba guys? 1, negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Tama ba guys?
Yes,
Yes.
Tama
sir.
po.
All right.
Opo.
Divided by negative 16. Tama po ba? Right?
Yes,
So,
sir.
so the value now is what? This is negative 20, right? Negative 20 times 1. So extend na lang natin para di kayo malito. 10, 2, 0, 1, negative 2, negative 2, and 1. Tama na? So this is negative 20. This is negative 20 plus 1 times 3 times 0. Bonus 0. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 1 plus 4. Minus ng pataas, okay, 0. 0 na to. 0. Plus 1, 3, 10. 30. Tama? Tama ba, guys? 1, 3, 10. 30.
Opo, sir.
1,
Yes
Opo,
2,
sir.
po.
1. 1, 2, 1
2.
is 2. Very good. Divided by yan ng negative 16. Now, this is what? Negative 24. Tama? Negative 24. Minus, what is 30 plus 2? 32. Tama ba? What is negative 24 minus 32? Plus negative 32. This is what? Negative 50, 56 divided by negative 16. Tama ba? What is 56 divided by 16? Is this 3? Tama ba?
3.5, sir.
3.5,
3.5
sir.
po.
So saan tayo nagkamali? Kasi we're expecting x as 3. Tama? Tama ba?
Yes, sir. Tama po.
So saan tayo nagkamali? Tingnan natin muna ulit. Let's observe, no? So 2 times 1, negative 4. 1, 3, negative 1, negative 3. 2, 1, 1, 2. Minus upper, which is, minus upper. Negative din kasi to. Positive 2. So tama yan, 4. Tapos, umalis tong ano. Wait lang guys ha, sandali. Wait lang. Umalis nung ano. Okay, good. 1, negative 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 6, 1. So I think this is correct, no? 7, 2, okay. Yeah, it's negative 16. Now, let's go back. Negative 10. Oh, this is positive 10. 10, negative 2, 1. 20, negative 20. 0 na to. Ayun. Hindi tama. 2, 2, 1, 4 minus 0, 1, 3, 10, 30, Tapos, 4. Guys, this is, ano, I need 10. Teka. If we extend this is 10. 1 to 1.
48 po dapat ata, sir, yung 56.
Oh, so, pero tama, no? Na 1 to 2.
Opo, sir. Doon po sa negative
Oo.
20.
Kasi ito, negative 24. 48 ito dapat.
Opo, sir. Para
Okay.
po maging 3.
Ay, teka lang. Tama ba? Teka, wait lang. Okay, so this one will give me, this is 24. Tama naman ito, no? Negative 24.
Negative 16 po
16 po,
yun.
sir, dapat. Negative 16 po dapat.
Oo nga naman. Sabi ko sa inyo, may problema ako sa addition and subtraction eh. Hindi ako magaling dyan eh. Okay, na-calculator ko yan. So 16 sa tama. This will be give us negative 48. Tama? Divided by 16, this is already 3. Ayun, very good. So yun. So we have got 3. So how about yung y? What is the value of y? The y will become what? This will become 2, 1, negative 1. Tama ba? 1. Teka, para hindi tayo malito, sa taas natin gawin. Wait lang. So far, so good. Okay kayo? Nagigets niya yung lesson?
Yes po, sir.
Yes po, sir.
Yes po, sir.
Tsaka it's a new approach, no? Tama? Ayan. Sige. I-ano natin, erase natin ito. Para hindi tayo nalilito. Basta alam natin, negative 16 yung main matrix natin, ha? Pen. Okay. Now, again, ano yan? So, this is 2, 1, negative 1. Replace natin yung y. So, 10, 2, 0. Tapos, 2, 3, 1. Agree? Ito yung y ko. So,
Yes po.
this will become 4, 4, and then negative 30, and then 0. 2, 1, 0. So, plus 0. Minus, yung pataas, this is negative 4. Tama? Negative 4. Plus 0. Isang 0 lang, sir. 1, 2, 10. 1, 1, 10. 1, 1, 10. So, plus 10. So, this will give divided by negative 16. So, what's the answer? This will give us what? This is negative 26. Tama? Tama ka? Negative
Tapos,
26.
Yes po.
This will become what? Positive 6. Right? Positive 6. Negative 26 minus 6 is what? Negative 32. Tama?
negative 32 po.
Over negative 16. So this will become
2.
yun. Okay, so we already have this one. Now, the next one, solve natin yung isa, no? So, replace natin to sa z column. 2, 1, negative 1. So, dito na lang guys, ha? 1, negative 2, 1. Tagalin ko muna to. Para hindi tayo, para walang saga. Gawin natin dito negative 16. Yan. 2. Tapos ito 10, 2, 0. Agree? Ito yung para sa z natin. Diba? So, multiplying this will give us 0. Diba? 0, 1, 2, negative 1 is minus 2. 10, 1, 1 is plus 10. Minus ng pataas, negative 1 times negative 2, positive 2 times 10, 20. Minus 1, 2, 2, 4 plus 0. Yan. Divided by negative 16. So this is equal to what? 8 minus, what is this? 24? Tama? Tama ba? So 24 minus 8, negative 16 over negative 16. Therefore, z is equal to 1. There you go. So what can you say about Kramer's rule? It's easy. It's easy. But then there's a need for a tedious math. Ay, saan daw nakuha ang negative 16? Saan pong negative 16 ang tinutukoy nyo? Yung numerator or denominator, Jericho?
Denominator po.
Ha? Numerator?
Denominator.
Yung denominator, wow. Doon yung sa main matrix. Yung main matrix natin is 2, 1, negative 1, 1, negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Di ba ito yung coefficient matrix natin? Yung coefficient matrix, if you get the determinants of this one, that will be 16. Negative 16. And in order to get, so this is D, di ba? So D will become negative 16. So you're going to compute for dx over capital D, that's for x. Y is equal to dy over capital D, and z is equal to dz over capital D. So lahat yun, negative 16. Kaya kanina pa ako divide ng negative 16. Alright? Nakuha mo, Jericho? You want me to compute again the coefficient matrix? Please answer. Hello?
Nagloko po yung Wag na po, okay na po.
Okay na. Thank you. All right. So okay na guys. Can you give me a thumbs up or a bump if you're okay with Kramer's rule under basket and weave method? Okay. Mas napadali siya, no? Oo. Iyon. All right. Very good. I hope you learned it, no? Mas madaling mag-compute. Pero kailangan natin maging maingat sa mga multiplication. Ito na. Very important si dito. Parang yan, addition, subtraction, multiplication, no? Ay, may scratch, nakakatuwa. Sana pala sinolve ko. Ito, guys. So as you can see here, demonstrate ko lang. Our main matrix is 2, 3, negative 5, 1, 1, negative 1, 0, 2, and 1. So if you get the determinants of this one, that is negative 7. And then, in order to get dx, no, dx will go to replace the constant matrix to that variable correspond the column that is corresponds to the variable that we are looking for, right? So from that coefficient matrix, you're going to replace the constant, no, by that constant, and then get the determinants of that using basket and weave, and then you get for dy para naman sa y column. Tapos lang po, basket and weave, DZ will be this one. Now, I want you to guys, no, at home, please try to solve this and verify the results. Pwede ba 'yon? Pwede ba natin i-practice 'yan sa bahay? Nasa bahay pala kayo. Tama ba? Pwede ba natin gawin 'yan? Okay?
Sir, kasama naman po sa PowerPoint yan, sir, na upload.
Yes po.
Sige
Okay?
po, sir.
So, solve natin, no? Kaya meron tayong mga scratch na ganyan. Okay? So, yun. Okay? So, that's it. That's it for now. Now, the problem is, paano kung 4x4, 5x5, 6x6? Now, which is realistically, meron naman talagang ganun problem. Hindi na po pwede si basket and weave. Okay? So, to get the determinants, we're going to compute the cofactor using cofactor expansion. So, we're going to discuss this next week. All right? Okay? So, yun lang. May tanong po ba kayo? For clarification, huling hirit, baka meron pang tanong. Naintindihan? Ayun. Mukhang wala naman, walang
Yes po.
sumagot. Okay, so I think that's it, no? So, teka. I would like to request the class to open their respective cameras before we leave. Practice lang sa bahay, no? Kung kaya nyo maghanap ng mga problems sa mga kapatid nyo, try nyo isolve using this method. No? Medyo mas madali siyang gawin, mabilis. Lalo kapag mayroon kang calculator, you can use speed crunch, of course, para mas mapadali yung calculations niya. Alright. Okay. Sige. Okay. Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay. Isa pa. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Talang. May makulit. 1, 2, 3. Smile. One more, guys. Para naman sa ating together mode. Nako, tagal. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay. So this is our meeting for today. Guys, thank you very much for attending the class. I hope you learned a lot, no? I hope you learned a new approach, no? Practice lang po tayo, okay? Kasi medyo nakaka-full din ng numbers, no? Okay? I think that's it, everyone. Thank you very much. See you next
Thank
week.
you, sir.
Thank you po,
Maraming
sir.
salamat po. Thank you so much,
Thank you
sir.
po, sir.
Thank
Thank you
you.
po.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Ingat, sir.
sir.